This is Don Dillon again, and we had done a first series with our limbering exercises. This next series, we're looking at strengthening the core. Now, a lot of people think that the core muscles are just in the abdomen, running from the pelvis to the ribcage. But we have a lot of muscles that run right up against the spine, as you can see up in the upper part of the neck here, and up even into the cranium, and all the way down our legs. We have these muscles that wrap around and give our body strength. These muscles become weak when they're deconditioned. So if we're not getting enough exercise or activity, or if we've been injured, they can also become deconditioned. So we're going to do some muscles, work some muscles right now that work the whole core of the body. The first exercise we're going to do is called the wall squats. So find yourself a section of wall that doesn't have a picture in the way. If you don't have a wall, you can use the back of the door if that's available. This exercise has 3 parts to it. First part, you're going to step away from the wall and do a little bit of a squat. Just keep it a small squat right now. We'll talk about how to increase the difficulty later. So the first exercise works these muscles in the front of the leg. It's a great general conditioning exercise for the whole body because of these 3 components. So the first component strengthens the front of the muscles at the front of the leg, the powerful quadricep muscles. The second exercise strengthens the back of the legs and the buttock muscles in the low back. And then the third exercise helps to strengthen the muscles that keep your shoulders back and your rib cage upright. So let's look at this exercise. So the first part, we're going to squat down, get into the squats, and we're going to be tightening up these muscles naturally just because of the position that we're in. The second part of this exercise is we're going to use the powerful buttock muscles at the back and hamstrings as well, and we're going to squeeze for a count of 5. So squeezing the buttock muscles, we're also squeezing these muscles at the same time. We're going to count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and rest. And then again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and rest. So we're going to do 5 sets of 5 repetitions for this exercise. Now there's one more component. While I'm tightening the thigh muscles, while I'm squeezing the buttock muscles at the same time, we're going to use the back of our hands and our forearms, keeping our head looking forward. We're going to push into the wall, as if we were trying to push ourselves away from the wall. We're going to push into the wall. And what this third part does is it helps to raise the rib cage, helps to pull the shoulder girdle back, and helps to keep the head more properly oriented. A lot of times people sitting at their desk all day doing computer work, they become rounded shouldered, their head projects forward, and then they start to get neck pain, jaw pain, headaches, a variety of things. So this helps to move that shoulder girdle back and then puts the head back more squarely over your shoulders to help alleviate the stress that's at the back of your spine. So let's do all these 3 together. So first one again is that squat. We're using these muscles here. Second thing, I'm squeezing the buttock muscles. And the third thing, back of the hands toward the wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. Now, when that gets easy, there's a couple of ways to make this harder. First of all, you can deepen your squat, so you can get in a little bit more of a squat. Second way to increase the resistance is to add more time on. So instead of squeezing for 5, you could squeeze for a count of 8, or a count of 10, or a count of 12. You can move your way incrementally over time. The third way is with the upper body. Instead of having the hands down in this position, we can bring them up in this position so that the shoulder is almost parallel with the elbows, and the hands are pushing back. Now, you don't need to touch the wall. Don't worry about that. But as if the wall was going to tilt forward on you. You want to push the hands back to keep that wall back. Also make sure your head stays squarely looking forward. You don't want to tilt the head just to be able to touch the wall. That's going to strain the neck. We want to keep the head square over the shoulders during this exercise. So just keep yourself looking forward. And I think you'll find over time your head actually will get farther back and it will be closer to the wall. Okay, so this is the advanced exercise. Deeper squat. Squeeze the buttocks and the thighs for a count of 8 or 10. And then the third part is take the hands from this position, bring them up as if you're stopping the wall from tilting forward, and hold it there for that count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. Start with 5 sets of 5, and then make it more difficult over time. Let's go on to our next exercise. In the postural succession is to look at a rowing type of exercise. Now this exercise will help to strengthen those muscles in the upper back. It'll help to lift the rib cage and help you to carry your head properly over your shoulders. People often in the computer age get into a posture where their shoulders start to collapse, their chest caves in, and their head comes forward. And then we have a lot of strain along the neck, in the jaw, and we can get headaches and things like that too. Plus it limits our breathing as well too. So we want to raise that chest, bring those shoulders back. So all you need is a little bit of this stretchy material. You can get this at an exercise store. Walmart will carry something like this, maybe some sporting goods stores as well. And you just find a door in your house with a double doorknob, and you take the elastic and you wrap it, as you can see what I've done here, wrap it around the doorknob. You're going to take up a bit of the slack, hunker down a little bit, and we're going to do a row. So I'm going to pull the elbows back and let them go forward. Back and forward. Notice that my shoulders aren't rising up. I'm keeping the shoulders down, and I'm keeping my head looking straight forward. Now, if you find that this is too easy, you can step back a little bit. That'll increase the tension in the band. Or if you find it too difficult, just move a little bit closer to the doorknobs, and that will decrease the tension in the band. Now, these bands are easy to get, but if you don't have one right now, get a simple belt and wrap it around the doorknob, and you can tether on the belt like so. This was a belt. And because the belt doesn't stretch, of course, you will need to move a bit more. So you do a little bit of a sit down and then pull yourself up. Do a little bit of a sit down and pull yourself up. Sit down, pull yourself up. Okay? Now, of course, be careful that the doorknobs are firmly attached and they're not going to come off on you. And make sure that the belt you're using is also sturdy enough as well. Hello again. So this is the third exercise in our stability exercise to strengthen the core muscles, which again run from your head all the way down to your toes. And this exercise is called the plank. So how we form the plank is resting from the knees. Make sure you have a comfortable surface, either your bed or a yoga mat on the floor. And we're going to create a triangle with our arms. So notice how my hand down to the elbow crosses to the other elbow and up to this hand. So I'm creating a triangle in this position here. My shoulders are directly over the elbows, my spine is straight, and I hold this position for a count of 10. Like so. Okay, now you can increase the resistance by going up in increments of 10, up into 40 seconds, 50 seconds, 60 seconds, whatever is comfortable for you. If you find that resting from the knees to the elbows is no longer strenuous enough, you can come up onto your toes. Notice I'm on my knees, come up to the toes, and you can increase that line from the toes up to the shoulders to increase the difficulty of this exercise. And so this is what the advanced exercise looks like.